Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our group will present the Halal Assurance System Manual of Gorgeous Cake Shop. So, my name is Wan Nur Ifa Akila binti Wan Ismaili. Okay, for introduction, the Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, JAKIM, has developed the main guideline of the Halal Assurance System, HAS, to fulfill the requirement of the Halal Standard Certification System. And for the system itself to be successful in managing the comprehensive halal system. The industrial companies should have to provide procedure as a guidance to fulfill the necessity of halal certificate and validation of halal integrity. In specific, the key factor to be created was the establishment of a control center in which every phase and step would be truly tested according to the HAS system in the production concept of halal Thayyiban food. Okay, so as part of industry players, Gorgeous Cake Shop Enterprise members aware the importance of establishment halal assurance management system HAS for our company in preserving the integrity of halal. This HAS manual also covering from the source of raw material to the finished products throughout our supply chain. As in our halal policy, we are committed to producing and supplying halal products and services that comply with the requirements of Malaysian halal certification. Also, this has established to ensure our company will always correspond to with the updated halal requirements.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatin Zakira binti Abdullah Fauzi. Next, I will explain about the process flow for production of our cake, which is firstly, we receive raw material from the supplier. Secondly, raw material and ingredient which is butter and sugar to make sure we not put it too much for the cake. Okay, thirdly, creaming stage, which is butter and sugar are mixed together around 20 minutes. After that, mixing stage, which is we mix other ingredient, which is egg, flour, baking powder, or any flavor for the cake, milk and water. Okay, next, greasing of pan and pouring the butter in the greased pan. Okay, next, we bake the cake in the oven with 190 degrees Celsius for 50 minutes. Next, we cool the cake for 1 hour before we bake it. And lastly, after we bake the cake, we put in the storage room to keep the cake safe and avoid any cross-contamination happen to the cake. Next, for the next slide, we show you our plan layout for a Gorgeous Cake Shop Enterprise.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Numastura binti Syarin. I will be explaining about the Halalan Thayyiban Risk Management Plan Summary in our company with my other two group mates. So after we have done the worksheet analysis for HCP, we found that there are 3 HCP process steps in our cake flowchart. And the HCP is receiving raw material, mixing and packaging process. So I will explain about the receiving raw material. For monitoring of the receiving raw material, what will be monitored is contamination in the raw materials with non-halal sources. So how it's happened is, it happened when transporting the raw materials from the supplier. So the frequency is upon the entrance of the premise compound. The one that should be monitoring is halal executive. So the corrective action that need to be taken care of is, firstly, immediately eliminate the haram material from the premise, then intensive training on prohibition of haram material requirement, then use transportation that transport halal products only to separate halal and non-halal products. Then for the verification is, there are 4, which is halal internal audit, HAS management review, review of HCP records, and revise the training content. And the last one is for record. There are 4, which is halal internal audit report, HAS management review report, HCP records, and training records.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Azrin binti Muhammad Zamri. Next, we're going to proceed with the next halal control point, which is halal control point 2, which is the process step, is the mixing process. And how did we know that there is a probability of halal control point in the mixing process? Because it is contained with the contamination with harmful substances such as glass, wood, metal, stones, and hair. And how that we control, how that we know that halal control point in the mixing process? Because some of the tiny substances from the surrounding of the premises get into the product at the mixing stage, and frequency of the halal control point in the mixing process is happen when the staff did not monitor the process of mixing the ingredient into the product. And who's the one is responsible for the halal control point in the mixing process? The person who is responsible is the staff of the premise. And next, the corrective action that must be taken when this happens is: first, must frequently monitor the process of mixing the product. Second, doing double check when pouring and then mixing the ingredient in the product. And third is maintain the cleanliness of the premises. Okay, next, where is the verification of the halal control point? The first one is through halal internal audit. The second one is HAS management or halal assurance system management review, and the third one is a review of the halal control point records. And lastly, what is the records that must be taken when is halal control points happen? First is a halal internal audit report. Second is halal assurance system management review report, and lastly is the halal control point records. Next, we're going to proceed with the next halal control point.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Asiah binti Abdul Halim. Next, I will represent about the third HCP in our cake shop, which is in packaging. So for monitoring, what we will monitor is the types of materials of the packaging. It is non-halal and easily can get contaminated with things outside. How it will happen is because we did not know the sources of what the packaging material is made of. After that, the frequency is when packaging the products. The person that in charge is the halal executive or premise staff. After that, the corrective action that need to be taken care of is first, only use packaging from certified supplier. Second, packaging must seal properly. Next, the verification. There are three. First, halal internal audit. Second, HAS management review. Third, review of HCP records. And the last one is the record, which are first, halal internal audit report. Second, HAS management review report. And third, HCP records. That's all from us. Thank you.